students. Today's our topic of discussion is conservation theorem for total angular momentum, but this time the theorem is in terms of center of mass. First we will deal with center of mass of the many particle system, and around which we will find the angular momentum, and we will find out how the angular momentum remains constant when we take the center of mass for many particle system. Let's start our discussion. Again, consider there are many particles, but randomly we choose one particle and mention it as ith particle. Let us consider this is our ith particle, and these are our many particles, and all the particles, just we move these all the particles at center of mass, and this is our center of mass whose position vector is indicated with the help of capital R. This is the position vector of center of mass, and let us consider this position vector is from origin, that from the space we have considered, and the ith particle have position vector Ri, and as we very well know that from the triangle law of vector addition, if we draw a vector in the direction from center of mass to the ith particle, and let us consider this is the distance of the ith particle from center of mass is indicated by Ri dash vector. Ri is the position vector of the ith particle with respect to the origin O. Ri dash, it is the position vector of the ith particle with respect to center of mass, and R is the position vector of center of mass with respect to origin. It means we are considering the ith particle position with respect to our two positions. One is with respect to O and another is with respect to center of mass, so that we can find out the angular momentum of all this system with respect to center of mass. Let's start our derivation. We very well know that we are talking about our angular momentum, and if we are discussing about the ith particle, let us consider Li is the angular momentum of the ith particle, and in terms of position vector and linear momentum of the ith particle, the angular momentum of the ith particle is given by like this: Li is equal to Ri cross Pi. But we have to discuss about the total angular momentum of many particle system, so we have to sum up all the angular momentums of all the particles to get the total angular momentum of the system. Now we will substitute Pi in terms of mass and velocity. Here L is equal to summation Ri cross, and we will substitute Pi in the terms of mass and velocity. Here we will get Mi into Vi, as we are taking the linear momentum of the ith particle. From our considerations for the ith particle, as these two vectors, that is vector for center of mass and the position vector of the ith particle with respect to center of mass, these two vectors are in the same order, they are in anti-clockwise order. But here the position vector Ri of ith particle with respect to origin, if we take its orientation, it is in clockwise direction. It means we, with the help of triangle law of vector addition, Ri, that is in the opposite direction of R and Ri dash, it will give the resultant of these two vectors which are in same direction, where Ri is in the opposite direction. So we can put it Ri dash is equal to capital R plus Ri dash, from the triangle law of vector addition. This is our notation. Now, if the ith particle is in motion, our system is in motion and all the particles are in motion, then the position of the ith particle will change with time. If it is changing with the time, then we can differentiate these position vectors with respect to time. Then we get dri upon dt is equal to dr capital, that is the position vector of center of mass, plus dri dash divided by dt, where dr upon dt is representing the velocity of the ith particle with respect to the origin O. dr upon dt is representing the velocity of the center of mass, which we are representing with v, and dri dash upon dt is representing again the velocity of the ith particle, but now this time it is with respect to the center of mass, so we are indicating it as vi dash. These are our whole notation. We can substitute vi in the terms of velocity of center of mass and in the terms of velocity of ith particle with respect to center of mass from in our this relation. We can put the value of ri and value of vi from our these assumptions. We have already taken the value of vi in the terms of v and vi dash. Similarly, we also defined ri in the terms of r and ri dash. Now we are going to substitute these two values in the above equation. What will we get? L is equal to summation is there, so we are not removing this summation, we are putting this. Now instead of ri we are going to put this value, and we are using this ri dash plus r into cross with mi, we will take as it is, and instead of vi we are putting the relation in this term v plus vi dash. So we are using vi dash plus v and just putting the vector symbol, vector sign on our velocity vectors. Now we are just cross multiplying all these terms. What we will get, L is equal to summation, and the first term is our Ri dash. Just we are multiplying Ri dash with these two terms, we will get cross Mi Vi dash. This is our first term, and next we are just multiplying this capital R with these two terms. What we'll get, summation will be proceed with every term. We will get R cross mi, again we have vi dash. The third term will be ri dash multiplying with this vector with mi also. We will get summation ri dash cross with mi v dash, and similarly we will get the last term in the terms of capital R. Now this only term is left, R will be multiplied with V. We will get summation of R cross with Mi, and this is our V. This is our last term. So we get multiplying these two brackets, we are getting the total four terms. Just we are rearranging all the terms. First find out the terms which are indicating only the center of mass position and center of mass velocity. What are which one is the term? Just we see the last term, it is representing the position vector of the center of mass and the velocity of center of mass. Just I am moving it to the first term, just rearranging the terms. We will get r cross mi, and this is v, that is the velocity of center of mass. Now the second term which we are taking the position vector and velocity with respect to center of mass. Just to watch the first term. If you see the first term, this is the position vector of the ith particle with respect to center of mass, and this is the velocity of again ith particle with respect to center of mass. Just I am moving this very term at the second place, and we will get this is the second term of ours. And again just rearranging our all the remaining terms. Just see the third term, that is this one. just rearranging this term, what we will get, we will have mi ri dash, moving mi, that is a scalar quantity. We can move this scalar quantity with this vector, or we can take with this v, that is with the same meaning, and cross with v, just rearranging these terms in this form. And last term will be our second term. This is the second term which we are putting in the last. We can write it as r is a constant quantity, is not, it is not undergoing summation. So we can move it out of summation, and we get r cross summation. These two terms have I with them, and so they are going with the summation, and we are getting this mi and vi dash. This is the new arrangement of our terms. Just see the meaning of all these terms. What first term is indicating: r is not undergoing summation, v is not undergoing summation. Here the only term which is undergoing summation is mi, and if you just make the summation of mi, what will you get? M1 plus M2 plus up to Mn, the total number of particles, and you are getting the total mass. So we can write this term like this: R cross Mv, where all these terms are indicating the center of mass. It is the center of mass position vector, it is the mass of center of mass, and it is the velocity of center of mass. It means this whole term is nothing, it is the angular momentum of center of mass, that is r, position vector of center of mass, and mv represents the linear momentum of center of mass. Then radial vector and linear momentum, they are going to they are going to give you angular momentum if you are taking their cross product. It means this very term is representing the angular momentum of center of mass. Now just see the second term, what it is representing. It is representing the position vector of ith particle with respect to center of mass, and this term is representing the linear momentum of ith particle with respect to center of mass. It means the angular momentum of all the particles, because we are taking the summation also, angular momentum of all the particles in this term is indicating with respect to center of mass only. Next, what the third term is indicating? The third term is giving mi ri dash cross v. What is v? V is the velocity of center of mass. And what is ri dash? They are representing the position vector of ith part of the ith particle with respect to center of mass. Just if we enlarge these terms, that is summation of mi ri dash, what these terms are indicating, if I take summation of mi ri, what this term is indicate, in center of mass concept we already calculated it, it is nothing, it is the product of mass and position vector of center of mass. If I make it ri to ri dash, what is it is representing? It is representing just you are just taking the distance from center of mass. Let us consider, if this is your center of mass and all the particles are at a distance of r1 dash, r2 dash, r3 dash, r4 dash, and r5 dash from this very point, and you are just taking their summation, you get center of mass by balancing all these products. When these all products are balanced, only at that time you get the center of mass. It means this product should be equal to 0 if all these have their center of mass at point r. Again, just uh, imagine, if this is your center of mass and this is your whole particle systems, and you are taking positions of each particle with respect to center of mass, then the position vector of the first particle will be r1 dash, second particle is r2 dash, third particle is r3 dash. And when we move all these particles at center of mass, these all particles or the whole body is balanced at center of mass. If this whole system is balanced at center of mass, then this product should be like that, m1 r1 dash is equal to 0. Let us explain with the help of another example. If you have the this is the center of mass of your two particle system, and this is the position vector r1, and this particle have mass m1, and this is your second particle m2, and this particle have position vector r2, and this center of mass is at origin. Then what will you get? By m1 r1 plus m2 r2, you will get this should be equal to 0 if you have to balance these two particles with respect to center of mass. Similarly, if you have to balance all these particles with respect to center of mass, then this product of mass and their respective coordinates with respect to center of mass, we are taking the positions with respect to center of mass, only at that time you will get m1 r1 plus m2 r2 is equal to 0 if this is your center of mass. Similarly, if this is our center of mass, then all the particles should be balanced about this point. Hence, m1 r1 dash, that product should be equal to 0 according to our assumption. Hence, this third term should be equal to 0. Similarly, if we find out what the fourth term is indicating, the fourth term is equal to r cross summation mi, and this can be written as ri dash upon dt. Again, this differentiation can be taken before summation. We can write this very equation like that: r cross d upon dt summation m I r I dash, and summation m I r I dash, again we have taken this value equal to 0. This term is equal to 0. Hence the third term and the fourth term is equal to 0, which are carrying the product mi and ri dash. These two terms are equal to 0. This is our result, and after making these two terms 0, what you are getting? You are getting r cross mv, that is the angular momentum of center of mass. We can write this angular momentum of center of mass, plus what this term is indicating? This term is indicating that you are taking the summation, or you are taking the total angular momentum of each particle, but now this time these particles are not moving about O, they are moving about center of mass. It means we are adding the angular momentum of all the particles now with respect to center of mass. This is our conservation theorem for total angular momentum for a system of many particles with respect to center of mass or in terms of center of mass. According to this theorem, the total angular momentum of the system of particles, it is the sum of the angular momentum of center of mass and angular momentum of all the particles moving with respect to center of mass. This is our angular momentum, law of conservation of angular momentum with in terms of center of mass. Similarly, we can discuss and another theorem, that is the conservation of kinetic energy in terms of center of mass also. Similarly, we will take the same system and we will say, discuss the again the ith particle as we have considered here. Now we are discussing our next topic, and this is our kinetic energy, conservation of kinetic energy, law of conservation of kinetic energy in the terms of center of mass. Here kinetic energy conservation in terms of center of mass. Now we are going to discuss this topic. Again, we are considering the same system. We are taking our space coordinates along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, and let us consider this is our origin O, and this is our ith particle having position vector Ri with respect to the origin O uh, in our space. And let us consider for many particle system, this is our center of mass, and the position vector of the center of mass is R. And again, the displacement or the distance in between center of mass and ith particle, or we can say that this is our the position vector of the ith particle with respect to the center of mass, and this again can be given like this, that is Ri dash. From triangle law of vector addition, you very well know that Ri can be written in the terms of Ri dash and R, and if you differentiate it with respect to time, we will get Vi, the velocity of ith particle with respect to the origin O, and is equal to the velocity of the ith particle with respect to center of mass plus the velocity of center of mass. These two equations we already derived in our previous discussion. Now we are discussing about kinetic energy. What is the formula of kinetic energy? Now we are just denoting our kinetic energy with capital T. And if I am talking about the ith particle, let us consider this is the kinetic energy of the ith particle, but we are talking about the kinetic energy of the whole system. So we will add the kinetic energy of the first particle plus second particle and so on. So we are taking the summation, and we can put the kinetic energy in terms of mass and velocity. A very well known formula, T is equal to half of mv square, but for the ith particle you can put this formula like this, half of mivi whole square. And now we are just taking vi in the terms of center of mass. We will put this value of vi in our this formula, and we know that vi, that is velocity, is a vector quantity, and in our case we will get vi square only when vi dot with vi. When vi dot with vi, we will know that we will get vi square. In dot product, if we dot product for the same vectors, we will get their magnitude square. Now we will substitute the value summation half of mi, and instead of vi we are just putting the value in the terms of center of mass, that is vi dash plus v. And from this very discussion we are just putting the value of vi once, and with dot we are just putting it again in our expression, and we will again get these two brackets. And when we open these two brackets, what we are going to have, we are going to have summation, and in the first term just we are taking this product with this, what we are going to have vi dash with vi dash, we will have mi, and this is our vi dash whole square, because these two products are same, and under dot product they are giving the same results. Plus again we are taking this term with this, we are having half of mi vi dash dot with v, this is our second term. And with the third term what we are taking, we are just taking this term with this product, and we will get summation again half mi v dot with vi dash, this is our third term. And in fourth term we are taking this product with this, these two vectors are same, and if their dot product will give us v square, and we will have summation half of mi, and this is our v square. Just rearranging the terms, what last term is indicating, Which term is undergoing the summation here? V is representing the velocity of center of mass. It is a single point. This is a not undergoing summation. But Mi is undergoing summation. What is Mi will give you? If you open this summation M1 plus M2 up to Mn, you are getting the total mass of your system. It means instead of Mi summation, we can put the total mass. This last term, we are arranging it, we are moving it to the first, we will get, that is half of we are just removing the summation, half of summation mi, that is reduced to capital M, that is the total mass, and with this we are getting half of m v square. What this term is indicating? This term is indicating the total mass of the center of mass, and v is representing the velocity of center of mass. It means this is the kinetic energy of center of mass. Again, we are moving to our first term. This is our first term. What first term is indicating? It is indicating that you are taking the ith particle mass and you are taking the ith particle position with velocity with respect to center of mass. We are representing is vi dash whole square. It means you are taking the velocity with respect to center of mass. It means this whole term is representing the kinetic energy of the ith particle with respect to center of mass, and if you are summing up it all the for the all particles, then you are getting the kinetic energy of first particle with respect to center of mass plus kinetic energy of second particle with respect to center of mass. It means so on. This whole summation, this whole term is indicating the total kinetic energy of all the particles with respect to center of mass. Now these two terms are now left. These are the terms which we are now calculating here. If you see, we are taking dot product of vi dash with v, and here with of v with vi dash. In if we are taking the dot product of two vectors, we know they are commutative in nature. We can take a dot b is equal to b dot a. It means these two terms are the same terms, and if we undergo addition for these two terms, half plus half, they give us full, and you will get mi vi dash dot with v. These two terms on addition, they will give you a single term. This term, what this term is indicating, if you are just finding out what the last term is indicating to you, here the summation is of mi and vi dash. V, it is a cost, it is a single quantity, it is not undergoing any type of summation, so we can remove this term. If we just moving this only discussing about this term, what you are getting? You are getting summation of mi vi dash dot with v. We can write this very term, we can move this vector first, and we can move this vector second, because the dot product of two vectors are commutative in nature. We can write v dot with summation of mi vi dash. We can rearrange the terms and we can get this, and this whole summation term can be written in the term of dri dash upon dt. Very well know that the change of position vector with respect to time period will give you velocity, and this term again can be arranged. We can take differentiation first, and after that we can take summation. We will get t upon dt summation of mri dash, and very well know that this whole term is balanced at center of mass, and we are at center of mass. It means this whole term is going to be zero. Hence we are just left with only two terms. Only these two terms are left, as this term is went to zero. What these two terms are indicating? these two terms are indicating the total kinetic energy, and this total kinetic energy, with the help of these two terms, can be written in the terms of center of mass. That can be written in center of mass kinetic energy. And what this term is indicating, this term is indicating the total kinetic energy of our system, of each particle with respect to center of mass. This is the conservation theorem for the kinetic energy in terms of center of mass, according to which the total kinetic energy of a system can be given as the sum of kinetic energy of center of mass and total kinetic energy of all the particles with respect to center of mass.